Howdy hi, it's Mellow Hi. I've been struggling to find some ideas for longer form content, so I decided to just go back to my roots and do some art. Now this drawing on the right, I did it in 2017. I can't really remember why I did it, but I'm pretty sure I did it on like paint.net. It's like Psy, but not as good. And oh boy, it does not uphold the test of time. Like, no shading, nothing, ugh, disgusting, like, we don't stand. So this one was more of just kind of a sketch. I was bored, and I didn't have any internet, so I'm like, you know what, let's redraw something. So I also didn't use any references for the pose, so if the pose looks ugh, that's why. I've also been doing eyes with like the eyelashes going out. I don't know why, I just really like the look of it. I think it makes the eyes pop a little bit more, and it just kind of draws your eye to the eyes. Also one thing that I do is, like, I know with pressure sensitivity, like if you press down harder, then like your line goes thicker. I don't do that, so most of the time my lines are just the same like weight all the way around, so I have to actually manually go back and add in the line weight, so you can see me doing that on the hair. You can also see an example of me not using reference when it comes to the hoodie, because I'm fairly sure that's not what a hoodie looks like, but we're just gonna skip over that one. Also had a lot of trouble doing the mouth. I don't know why. I just couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to do the mouth, so I just left it at like the, you know, line with a little dot at the end, because I just could not figure it out for the life of me. Also, in one of my art classes, I did like a thing researching like styles and stuff, because that was part of what we had to do. And I looked at like the style of Cuphead, and I noticed they have like the pupils a little bit like that. It's not exactly the same, but I figured I'd add that in my own art. You can also see me cleaning up the line art, because I do not have clean line art. In my own art, I've been trying to use a lot more like saturated colours, because I don't know why, I really like using saturated colours. Like if you go to a professional like artist, they'll go, don't use saturated colours, like that's gonna make everything look really weird, like you want to keep your colours fairly muted, like don't put it way up on the high end of saturation. And then I just said, yeah, screw that, because, you know, you can't tell me what to do. Also, I was a bit conflicted as to whether to put the pupils in black or white, but I kept them in white because I think it, you know, just looks a bit, it meshes a bit better with the rest of the colour palette. Also added in a couple gradients on the skin, just so then it kind of has a little bit more depth rather than just going in with the shading. My shading style is like kind of inspired by paint art, like, you know, like Microsoft Paint, because you can't really do any really good, you can't do any like normal shading per se. Like when you have different art programs, you can do, like, you can use different layers and stuff, whereas with like paint, you've got the one layer, so you better make that one count. So I'm basically just going in with, like, you know, darker shades and, you know, just trying to make them pop. I also added in lipstick for a second, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like that, so we're just gonna ignore that one. Also, like, how I write and how I draw is fairly messy, so I kind of want to add that into the shading style. Like, I think it kind of conveys my personality, I guess, because if you hear, I took fairly quick. But yeah, I'm not really sure where I came up with this, like, shading style. I think I saw someone do something similar, and then I tried to replicate it and didn't quite do it, so I just kind of figured out my own way of doing it. But I think it looks pretty cool. The only thing that I'm worried about is if it's like trypophobia, because I know that some people have like the fear of like the close holes, like lots of holes really close together, so I don't know if I should put like a trypophobia warning on it or not. I think I also forgot to do like a little gradient on the jacket, so I think I might actually, I think I go back and they put a little bit of a gradient on the jacket, because it looks a little bit flat. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this piece is pretty much done, just adding in a couple overlays, changing the colours around a little bit, and adding in a very normal background. So here we have the 2017 one, very asymmetrical, very yaks on tracks. And then we have the 2021. Wow, look at the improvement. Wow, so cool. So this drawing I did probably back in 2014, 2015. The only reason why I know is because I remember it was like just after the second Equestria Girls movie had come out. Because I used to be really into My Little Pony. So as you can probably see, I actually used a base for this drawing. Like it's very clearly like a My Little Pony base. And I actually made like a doll, or like a My Little Pony doll based off of this OC. So yeah, it did not go well. I also wanted to give her design a little bit more personality, I guess. Like, she's just got like a normie top and like some really weird pants. So I figured like, let's make her a little bit more like alt, you know? So, yeah, you can also see I'm not very good at anatomy. I didn't really use a reference for this one either. Also, I couldn't figure out how to do the hair, so I just eyeballed it. Didn't quite work. Yeah, so I'm just going and doing the liner. I wanted to give her more kind of like a fierce look. Like, I don't know, very, very fiery, I guess. Also gave her a septum piercing, because I myself actually have a septum piercing. I don't know, I really like the look of them. But yeah, I don't know, I don't know if I actually gave her like a personality or anything. Like, I think it was just like, you know, edgy OC, go brr. But I remember like, you know, she's meant to be like evil or something, and I think like she made like a deal with some sort of demon or something, and then she got like magical powers. So that's why there's like that weird grinning dude in the background. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to do long hair, so I just kind of eyeballed it. With a lot of these things, I probably should have looked for more reference. I looked on Pinterest for reference for the clothes, though. I have a hard time coming up with how to draw clothes, because I don't have a visual memory, so I can't like really stockpile what clothes look like. So a lot of the time when I do art, I'm like dumpster diving for Pinterest references. Also wanted to keep her skin color, because I think that kind of adds to kind of like, I guess, the demon look. I also had a lot of trouble doing the hair, like with doing the like black highlights. For some reason it just, wait, would there be highlights or like low lights? I don't know. For some reason I just couldn't make the black look good, so I kind of left it for the moment. Yeah, so just, you know, colouring in stuff. I'm also not very good at picking colours, I'd say. So yeah, I probably should have maybe gotten like a colour palette or something. Yeah, so for the black, I kind of went with more like a dark purpley colour rather than just straight black, because I think that kind of works a bit better. Also for the shading, the eyes, like the very dark purple, I did it on one of my art pieces and I was like, yo, I really like that. I also went in trying to do like the highlights for the skin in blue, because I was like, oh, maybe that would make her look cooler, and then it just looked weird, so I dropped it. Oh, why did I add the shading in like that? That was weird. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Too late now. Originally I was going to do the shading like how I normally do it, but then I figured maybe I should do it like, she's got a light source coming from behind her, because in the original art piece you can see that there's like a weird demon thing behind her, and she's really pissed off, she's just over it. Yeah, so I wanted to try and use this opportunity to kind of use it as an opportunity to do some more extreme lighting. So yeah, I actually didn't really like how this one was going. So this art piece took, I think I did it like in 2 or 3 sittings, because like I did the sketch and I was like, oh yeah, this is a cool sketch, and then I did the line art and I was like, oh yeah, this is a cool line art. And then I got to the colouring and I was like, ugh, I really don't want to do this anymore. But I did end up finishing it, because I was like, well, I'm almost there, I may as well just, you know, get over the finish line. Because that's one of the things that I've found with art, like, if you're not enjoying it, just take a break, and like, you go, hey, like, maybe I might come back to this, and you come back to it, and it's like, okay, maybe I'll only draw for like 5-10 minutes, and if you're not enjoying it after those 5-10 minutes, just leave it. Because a lot of the time when you draw it, like, if you say, okay, I'm only going to draw for like 5-10 minutes, like, a lot of the time you end up doing it for longer. That's one of the main things, like, if you're doing some sort of product or anything, if you're not enjoying it, take a break, because the product that you come out with is not going to be your best work. So you want to wait until you're doing something that, like, you're doing work that you're proud of. So sometimes that means just taking a little break. But yeah, just doing okay, I'm only going to do this for 5 minutes, then if I don't enjoy it after 5 minutes, I'll drop it. That's it works fairly well for me. I don't know if it works well for other people. But yeah, you can see me playing around with like the lighting and the shading and stuff, because it's a really easy way to do shading and stuff, because there was one art piece that I did and I just really couldn't be bothered to do like proper shading, so I just put in some dramatic lighting and it's like, hey, that's a time save right there. Speedrun strats. So yeah, here we have the 2015 version. Ugh, disgusting. We don't stand. And then we have the 2020 version. Ooh, look at how cool it is. Look at this alt queen. We stan. Thank you all very much for watching. If you have any other suggestions what I should draw, or I don't know, maybe videos that I can make, please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a good day.